Hey everybody, this is Troy from the Do-It-Yourself world. Today I'm going to make some homemade, sugar-free, not chemical-filled grape preserves. I got a mess of grapes and there's some fuzzies in here, and so I've got to sort the good from the bad. And I took out the better of the packages here. I think I have four packages that are better. And then there's some that are not so good that I'll bring in later. But I'm starting to process these, and I'm going to make grape preserves, yes, and just a natural grape type of concoction. No chemicals, nothing artificial, and no sugar, so I can eat it. And I'll take you along with me. So right now, it's just a very slow process of picking the grapes off the clump, putting them in a pot here or a pan to wash, taking the good from the bad, and I might come back to these areas here later. I'm putting them off to the side. Maybe I can pick out, I know only one or two are actually the bad ones in the bunch, and then the mold, I think that, no, it's got mold. The mold has extended, see there's a bruised semi-spoiled piece into the others, so therefore I want to be very careful what I keep, and I'll be able to have myself some grape preserves. Well, that one's definitely got bad. See, I got to really pick through them. Some are good, some are bad, but I think it'll be a nice enough batch for me to make my peanut butter bread a little bit tastier. So I'm going to fill this with one batch, wash them, and put them in another pot. So I've got half a pot, a little under half a pot, and that's 2 packages of grapes. So that's a pretty decent batch. I'll have twice that when I'm done. And over here, Melanie's processing some blueberries. That is with sugar though, so that's not for me, but I figured since it's right there, I'll show you. She's going to make jam as well for her and Michelle. Mine, theirs. I just really aggressively wash them. Make sure there's no dirt or mold, spores, or fibers touching anything. Really aggressively. I don't know how thoroughly you really have to, but I'll tell you what, once I take them out, the water left behind is ugly. And sort of strain with my hands as I go, and I double check the grapes quickly as I pull them out, make sure there's no mold that I missed. This will be a nice amount. Good. Of course that's going to cook down. I know it's going to be a lot less when it cooks down. These are seedless, so if there's truly no seeds, Melanie said there's not, then my job is going to be a whole lot easier because I don't have to remove the seeds then. So that's what I ended up with. 2/3 of a pot. I don't know how many quarts that pot is, but I'm going to have to actually check the bottom because I need to know when that is cooked down how much I have for the canning part of the activities today. Hey guys, I cheated. I just ran it through the blender. There are no seeds, so I just ran it all through the blender, quick and fast and easy. Now all I have to do is boil it, and with the skin on, from what I read online, it should start to gel up. I shut this off before I got it boiling because I forgot I have to bring this to a boil. From all my learning and from the ball canning book, it's a water bath. So I'm bringing this to a boil. Once this starts getting up to a boil, I'll start bringing this to a boil. I got to cook that for about 10 minutes. Once I've done the canning, I put it back in here and heat and boil it for 5 minutes. Melanie has changed her plan to pie filling, so she's waiting on this. So an eternity later, it seems like. It's been at least an hour. We're not boiling yet. Starting to bubble. It's getting hot. So I just turned this back on, and we'll bring this up to a boil. And that needs, from what I understood, 10 minutes of boiling, and then it should start to gel. Now, I've never done this before, and so we're going to see what happens. I'll bring you with me. We have boil, and we have boil. Now I let them both boil for about 10 minutes. This, I'm going to experiment with no pectin and see what happens. I am reading that you don't need it, so we will see what happens. I do have pectin on standby if needed. And this, I just want to make sure everything is dead in it. All the bacteria and all that wonderful stuff. Okay guys, I cheated and put some Sure-Gel in there because it wasn't thickening. I don't know, I've never done this before. But check that out. Ooh, look at that. Looks good. It's jelly. Now, I don't know if I'm going to be able to record very much in the next process without burning myself. I shut this off. I've got the lids and rings out, and I'm going to attempt to take these out and get this into there. Let me see. I'm going to do a couple before I try to record anything. I'll be back. Okay, last one. What I'm doing, I don't know if it's the right perfect thing, but I'm putting them back in here so they don't give me trouble, and they stay hot as I go. Now over here, I can fill the jar. This is my last jar, and I'm getting low in the hot, so this is perfect. I think I'm going to have 7 jars. Of course, maybe wait until the last one to record is not the wisest, because no, I'm scraping bottom. Melanie has stepped out, so I cannot ask for assistance in tipping this. I think I'm just going to have enough for one. I'm going to take this back over to the sink. Try to get this in there, up to the top. This is actually cleaner this way. There's going to be just enough for breakfast in the morning. I'll scrape that up. And then wipe it. I didn't get any on there, but just to be safe, we'll wipe that rim. Okay, the last lid, the last ring, and then I get a different grip and I'll put it back in the pot. So now I'll bring that back up to a boil, and I'm going to scrape out what's left of that and have it on a piece of bread. Well guys, that's boiling, and now I've got to wait like 10 minutes, and then I can shut it off and pull them out. Well guys, I've pulled them out of the boil, out of the water bath, and they're already starting to pop. I'm surprised they're immediately starting to pop. Well, I haven't done this, and I haven't canned anything in many, many years. Back to the old homestead days. I'm going to burn my fingers. Well, they're already burnt from the fire, from the wood stove. Trying to get these to sit level. Doing it upside down on camera. I want them to sit level so the jelly is level. Anyway, a couple of them are popping. Well, there it is. I will let that sit, and we'll have a look at it tomorrow with some breakfast and see how it turns out. So, many days have passed, and this became more of an experiment in failure. This is my jelly. It's sealed, it's preserved, but that's not jelly. So, I have experimented for days. I thought I was going to be finishing this video the next day. No. Many, many attempts, and I now have some resemblance of jelly. I put flaxseed in there and left it for a day. No jelly. I put it back on the stove and cooked it for a while. No jelly. I put cornstarch in it. and I cooked that. No jelly. So I put that in the blender because there were chunks of cornstarch, and cooked that. No jelly. Melanie came, took over, added a little bit more cornstarch, cooked it, and said, it'll work. Jelly. Okay, so now it doesn't look as pretty. Well, it didn't look pretty before, did it? It's the same color. Yeah, it's not that purpley grape jelly look. So I'm going to experiment. Oh yeah, that's better. That turned out. Let's see. It looks like grape juice with cornstarch. Well, this is an experiment in failure and food preservation. Let me see how it tastes. Well, it tastes like jelly. Oh. Well, guys, it is what it is. So, in the future, I now know I have to take these when I'm ready to use them, put them back on the stove with cornstarch, put it into a dish, put it in the fridge, and it's jelly. Yeah, whatever, you know. The cost was nothing. It was a good deal because the grapes were off, and I've got 7 pints of preserved something that I can use for my breakfast because I cut sugar. I don't get to have jelly. And it's sad in the mornings when the girls have jelly and I don't. Now I can have it. Well, please like this video, guys. I show the good and the bad, the failure and success. And subscribe if you haven't. Talk to you all later.